It is, and this game, I believe, just about ready to kick it off. The Victory Road versus Verbs Esports. Here is the record, buddy. It's very much David versus Goliath. The Victory Road with a 9-3 record. Verbs Esports here with 2-11, looking to improve their seeding in these group stages.
And it's going to be interesting to see the list here as the Victory Road, as we're looking into the accolades here. The entire team has a lot to go into it. They have a lot of regional wins across the board here, having different cups of different months as well. And of course, UIC. And how could we ever forget, Tano? You were there!
I can't believe it, bro. I'm going to be there this year as well. Looking on the board, these were such incredible players. We've got Caesar, we've got Hiyori, Mifil, Greg, and Aslaniko bringing up the rear here for the Victory Road. And looking at their accolades, Nightera, they are off the roof. We see some Game Assembly winners. But let's have a nosy at Verbs Esports. We've got DJ, Niet, Silex, Cotton, and Toppy here. And we haven't seen much of, for example, Cotton, so I'm excited to see them coming into this as well and try and see if they can pick up themselves some good accolades.
A nice clean slate from Verbs Esports here, hoping to make a name for themselves in the EUL. As we do take a look into how they play this out, you're right, David versus Goliath here. I think it's very clear that Verbs Esports are hoping to play the role of David and take it down, because at this point, they've got something that they want to put down on their plaques here, and I think this is going to be the first of many.
To be fair, with how well the Victory Road has been playing, you could definitely throw that on as an accolade of being able to defeat them here in the final few weeks of Verbs Esports. 9-3 is a very decent record to have. When you have the dominant teams in this league, such as Ultimate, such as the Enemies has been, it's definitely impressive to be able to get those 9 wins. But let's go on into the draft phase here, Nightera, and see what these bands are going to be.
And now let's take a look. You're absolutely right here. I love the anime cut with the double screen, but 4 bands here. Let's see what we're going to pick up. Is there going to be a Buswell on the board here?
I'm going to say goodbye to that Suicune, still getting those bans, no surprises whatsoever. And Blissey, the utility you can get from that Pokemon, very tanky as well. And it's going to be the Absol that Hiyori wants to ban out here. No attention to that Leafeon. I think that's completely understandable. I think Absol's pretty broken on this map, buddy.
I'm not too sure whether this is the call here, Absol and Palma at the end of the day. I kind of like the Hoopa that they're hovering over. I don't really see it at this point where this can go, right? So, we're going to take a look into how this goes. Snorlax being picked up here. I would love to see a hole come into the fray on Verb's side. Definitely something to work, but Crustle making its appearance again, terrorizing me in every stream.
Ooh, DJ was showing the attention to the Venusaur, but pulls out the Alolan Raichu instead. And it's going to be Eldegoss that gets locked in for Verbs Esports. We've been seeing so much Eldegoss, and when Blissey is banned, it's either Eldegoss or Clefable that we see people take.
And we are going to be potentially seeing... There's a hover on Empoleon, right? I mean, I don't recall whether we're still allowing that at the moment. It's still week 1, if I'm not wrong. So we're going to hold this one back here. But if we're taking a look into how they're going to play the lineups here, we're going to be seeing a clean pickup onto Dodrio. We had the same argument as before with the supports, but now it's here. If all of the quote-unquote speedsters are kind of banned out, or like nobody wants to pick them up, right? The next best option is always going to be the second best. Dodrio holding strong. But Buzzwole active in the lane here. We might see the pickup from Verb.
It's Buster on the Buzzwole, and I saw the name Cotton, and I was like, I wasn't sure who was going to be here, but it's Buster, so very excited to see them coming into this one, buddy. And I do like the Slowbro pick here, because you do have to try and limit Hiyori on that Dodrio Bro. We have witnessed some ridiculous Dodrio play, and you've already called it. One of the best speedsters currently can control this map of Fair Sky Ruins, and exactly throwing Greg onto the Hooper as well, rounding it out with a Blaziken. I absolutely love the rainbow comp that Victory Road have brought out here.
Last pickup here onto Verbs Esports. Let's see what the final roundup is. Are we going to be seeing another speedster to hold the line? I'm not too sure. I mean, the colors are looking great here, and it would only make sense, right? All 5 have been assembled. There it is, the Darkrai. They've got the colors lined up here. I can't really say which is the better team. They do have a lot of Raichu on the other side. Caesar's on Blaziken. I mean, really strong ones. I'm not even considering the speedsters in this, but they do have Buster Wall coming in there.
Buster Wall, I love that, buddy. It's kind of the battle of crowd control versus maneuverability on the side of Victory Road. Having the Dodrio and the Hooper is going to be very hard to catch. Same with Mephil on the Mew. Whereas Verbs Esports, look at the crowd control, buddy. It's going to be difficult for them to really try and shut them down. So that is going to be the battle between these two here. The double rainbow comp coming out for this first set.
Loving it so much here. Final preps coming in live right now as we do take a look. And now our predictions, because gotta be honest with you, Victory Road still got me going strong on this one. I'm loving it. What about you?
I'm with you. I think Victory Road are going to take this just because they seem to be the team that has the strongest synergy at the moment. Verbs Esports, they're new, buddy. They've all played with each other before, but they are new as a squad, and they've been very exciting. So I actually hope that this goes to a best of 3, and I think that would be a huge achievement for Verbs Esports.
You know what, Verbs Esports, you guys have something to prove. You know, casters have made their calls. We are going to be absolutely dumbfounded if you take us home with a victory here. So let's take a look at how this one pans out here as we go into the Victory Road versus Verbs Esports.
Oh yeah, this is game 1 kicking off for this week here. Victory Road on your purple side. Verbs Esports are going to take your orange side. And it's the Speedsters that are going to take the central area here, Nightera.
And of course, how could you expect anything else from that? Boswell going straight into the lane, trying to see if he can take a few pickups here. Very strong Mon. I don't think there'll be any contest against him scoring. But on the other side, bottom, we're going to see Snorlax going in hard, heavy. And there it is, already half onto Toppy. And just going to look really rough here.
Oh, poor Tuppy, your jet button has already been used. They have got the focus band onto the Snorlax, so that's pretty huge. But this is a very difficult lane for them to be handling as they try and see if they can get DJ here with the dash around. There goes the boosted Mephil. Shuts down that Alolan Raichu. And it seems like a great victory for the Victory Road in these early stages.
You love to see the eject button into a tackle there. A masterful play coming in for Snorlax. But as we do take a look into how this is going to pan out here, looks like the graphics are a little bit wonky here, but I assure you, it's part of the map, right? We're going to a digital age here. It's actually Thea Sky Neo runes.
Hey, just enjoy it, buddy. I like it. I think it adds flair to the game. I love this. It looks very anime-esque with it coming out. Let's see. Down here in this bottom lane, though, the punishment is coming on down as Hiyori comes in on the Dodrio, tries to score the 23. Yes, it's easier to do so, but the damage comes in from Verbs Esports. They defend that, and the Whirlpool of Purple comes out from Eldegoss.
Man, is that a new move? Like, is it Pollen Puff with, like, poison? They move into the fight though, and of course we do see the Speedster on Speedster action, Darkrai going down for the count, and this means control to the central area is going to go to Dodrio, who is also going to go into Regidrago in just a bit. Yo, the Pollen Puff with poison? Damn.
Mate, I like it because it's easier as a caster to see what's getting hit with that. I absolutely love it.
So
as they get all the Natus here, and the Regidrago is about to spawn on in. Hiyori is really trying to put the pressure onto Verbs Esports here and going for a cheeky little invade.
Right, and as they do pan around to see what they can fight here, Regidrago has been sitting down there pretty, waiting for someone to start on the fight. Toppy going in the first hit here, as we do see Siege coming in the Darkrai, holding its ground and attempting to start a fight here, but the team is now lining themselves up for this Regidrago.
Ooh, I also love the fact that it's currently only Fast and Buster that we're getting this purple for, so we can see who's going to be able to get the secure as they continue to blast the laser beams down. The heals come through, and it is going to be Buster that looks in the Regidrago. Verbs Esports trying to take a little bit of a level lead here.
Wow, and it's gonna be continue their onslaught on the top side here. They have a 30-pointer that they could drop, and oof, a little close there. Kabasket holding it ground, but they're gonna lock themselves out onto Dodrio. No mercy going into that one, and of course they do get the Blaze Gun, but can they continue this onslaught? Picking up the Eldegoss here, we're not gonna see any more purple particles. It is going to be a lot more onto favorable sides with Victory Road.
I mean, I think Victory Road got what they needed from that, buddy. Yeah, I mean, 47 points on the board for Verbs, but they've got the Dodrio online now, and they can't really push that lane, to be honest, unless they have those free. Registeel down here, trying to go for the rip is Verbs Esports. Here comes Hiyori, though. The surf comes through. What a brilliant effort from Toppy to lock that in for their team as they back up to the T1 pad. The Victory Road going on the retreat here, Nightera.
I never doubted Toppy ever since he got himself really wasted at bottom just now to start, and now I know why. you know, the confidence going into that. He knows he cannot be taken down. But as you do see here, it's going to be an interesting one. The overheat comes in to challenge with the surf. But again, Toppy looking so strong. A nice heavy slam here into the block. And Darkrai is almost locked out of his team. And unfortunately, it looks like with a body block here, it goes down and Snorlax is out for the count. Back to the Pokemon Center you go.
Poppy stopping them from being able to get the retreat. I am loving this from Verbs Esports, by the way. The aggression is working for them. They're trying to control both lanes here as they take that Regieleki and push this bottom T1 pad, trying to see what they can grab here. They don't yet have the Hooper Unite move ready to go, but they've got to be wary. The massive block coming in from Snorlax. There's the Thunderstorm Aerial as they look to approach the pad. Can they find the KOs? Here comes enioy. They weren't even scoring at the right moment there, buddy, but they rein in 30 Burger, and they do enough to be able to break this pad.
And beautifully done as well. They are into the 5 minutes mark, or pushing into 5 minutes here. It's going to be a real rough time for them. Scoreline 0 to 194 here. Verbs, again, we were saying this is David, and well, what can I say? They're doing fantastic.
That they are. We do finally get some points on the board from the victory road, but honestly does feel like a great effort, although they do whiff that one there. Buster unable to get their Super Swole Slam down. It hits the pavement as they try and find a KO here. The Hooper pulls just in time to get the victory road back. Snorlax comes back through, trying to see if they can trap free in the central area. No one's yet here to back them up, buddy, as though Drio goes on the retreat.
And here we are, moving down towards the bot lane now, as we do see a few seconds more before we have a Reggie coming back up online here. Now the Slow Beam does activate, no one to follow up there, and unfortunately, it looks like Dodrio does not make it out. You know, let's change the narrative there a little bit here. Lock coming in here, locking back into the fray, and unfortunately also going to be taken down.
I tell you what, this is impressive from Verbs Esports, and if they keep this up, matey, I'm very excited to see how they do in the group stages. I mean, this is only game 1, but we're halfway through, and it has felt like it has been total control from Verbs Esports after that first Regidrago.
Hey, don't forget, Tano, you have a saying when it comes to the 2-minute mark. It's not when there's a raid as a way anymore. You gotta change it up a little bit, but there is still a way out of this.
That there is, and you are right, buddy. Everybody says it. When there's a Groudon, the game is on, and it is still very close between these two. They do manage to grab the Regieleki on the side of the victory road, trying to alleviate some of that pressure, and they have managed to score some points at least. So with that pushing that T2 pad in the top lane, looks like they want to make a quick rotation down here to the bottom T1.
Oh, and it's going to be coming in here. The Rings and Bow trying to take it out with his team. Everyone running forward into it. They got the knock into the lower Raichu. Next volume of the Mew picking it up. Overheat going into Slowbro. But the Cincinnati holding for just a little bit longer here. But this Elder God looking a little bit lost. Counter Count Crash investment. And unfortunately, it looks like he's got to burn it just to escape this fight. Trying their best to defend here. Toppy holding his ground. Hitting it out here. As you do see, Pollen Paws being raided. Hoping to stop them. But unfortunately, the 40 invested. The 50 in as well. And this is a rough one for them. They're slowly gaining ground back into the game. 211 to 258.
Yeah, this is the power of Pokemon Unite, buddy. Now, at the 3-minute mark, the game is in the hands of Victory Road as they get ever so closer to taking that lead. 50 Dunk raining on through. And I absolutely love the fact that the Eldegoss Unite move is the only thing that doesn't throw up that pink circle.
Yeah. Is there much to say?
I want more pink, mate. I want more. I want to see who's shooting who. I want to see the lasers on the screen.
Alright, let's see if we can get that to happen. You know, maybe at some point it will just happen naturally, but we'll take a look at that. Lone Raichu, very cautious there, does not want to invest too much. In fact, everyone's just very cautious. They're not sure where is what and who's where. And the funny thing is, we know that they're on different sides of the map, and it's going to be hilarious when you realize that.
Yeah, I mean, a big push from Verbs Esports. Of course, you know, they're going to go break that pad, but they didn't know Victory Road wasn't there. That is a risque move. They were waiting for the hit onto the Reggie Rock, hoping that most of the team was there. Hooper ready in that central pit, waiting for the Groudon Den. Even can pull people in using that Unite move here, Nitero, if they need to.
The thing is that they are slightly below level here for Verbs. I mean, just a little bit difference between 1 or 2 levels, but across the board, they can still take a really strong fight, and I guess it's going to come down to this one pickup here. Verbs don't need to force this Groudon here, but if they do see Victory Road go for it, which is absolutely happening now, great time to start hitting them. Oh, Darkrai from the back line, trying to hit something, anything here. Unfortunately, getting caught by the Snorlax, who manages to at least get away here, might be able to continue distracting them. The Groudon is still unscathed after all that.
if you can put pressure here onto Greg and get them to pull the Unite move, that's what you need to do. But you can't realistically go for the rip or go for anything having Hooper with that Unite move down. And the longer you wait here, you're going to be risking some back caps. So if you could try and bait that out, that would be massive. But Verbs Esports here going for the retreat in the top side of the central area of Victory Road. They do manage to get the power nap out from Snorlax here. And the Mystical Mirage came through as well as they rotate down here. Ultra Swole Slam from Buster manages to find the KO. And now they land onto the Blaziken. Cotton Clown Crash comes out. The slow beam onto Dodrio. Oh, Night Terror. They're taking down Victory Road one by one. Verbs Esports are climbing the proverbial mountain and defeating Goliath here as they go to score more points. With 45 seconds left, they look to take game one.
And this is going to be the problem here that we're going to see, is that they were just unfortunate to not be ready to respond to like Verbs Esports push at the top, right? We saw them happen to take Reggie Rock, and then they were just all at top. What can you do there? In fact, this entire point lead here was absolutely not even calculated. It was just a chance that they took on and they said, we're going to commit. That is so ballsy for them, right?
It is. It really is, mate. And it's why I absolutely love it. 15 seconds left. 10 coming in here. Groudon getting ripped. But is it going to be enough? They can't even get to the goal. So it's not even going to matter, buddy. Oh my days. Hooper might get there. Looks like we're going to say, yeah, Dodrio does. Not going to be enough, though. And Verbs Esports, I tell you what, Night Terror, the best time for you to lock in and play your best Pokemon Unite is here in the seeding stage just before groups.
Oof, you are absolutely right. You know, they have to lock in here to lock themselves up a great position. I don't think they really want to fight anyone too strong early on. If they can make this one out, they get a better standing. You know, honestly, great time, great spot. They into a few of the other teams here. I think they're looking really strong going into this with 1 point lead. Victory Road needs to kind of catch up though.
Yeah, they do. And the thing is, though, Victory Road are such a strong team. Look at their record, buddy. They've been very strong throughout the entirety of this league. So they're not going to be happy with going down a game. And I could genuinely see this going to game 3 because it's going to be all about how they move into this next draft and where they want to go with it. But I got to say, I think Toppy was absolutely instrumental for being able to allow their team to get the win during that game.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you there. And I guess the question now remains on my mind is like, what can they do to turn this around? They had a very, very strong showing. I mean, Verbs had a very strong showing across the board here. They only lost out a little bit at the end here with the Reggie Rock. They didn't really match their levels. In fact, some reason, Victory Road had a little bit more levels over them, even if they matched a little bit more. And so the question is Verb very sure that they have this game in the bag? Are they very certain that their current strategy works? Or Tano, maybe it was a fluke, and Victory Road does have something to come back at them. Consistency is key. Let's see if Verbs can actually, you know, remake this entire thing happen again.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, buddy, if you want to get yourself into those playoffs and win the entire thing, consistency is absolutely key. So if Verbs Esports can continue this streak as they're finding here in the final few moments of the group stages or the league stages, that will be all that it's about. And I'm surprised at the Absol ban here. I mean, it's very strong, but I think you've got Pokemon, you've got players that can take the Absol and be so strong on it. And I just think against the comp that Verbs had there, it's definitely going to be better than what the Dodrio was pulling out.
And I agree with you on that. So let's see if that's gonna be the case here. Toppy hovering onto Ho-Oh. I don't know, feeling like it's not gonna be the case. The Elder Gods pick up here from Fast, no change there. We are gonna probably see Toppy back onto Slowbro, but I kind of feel like, again, maybe we'll see Crustle. Toppy's been really fantastic on defenders.
Yeah, there were so many times in that game where Toppy just blocked so much damage, managed to even, you know, push the enemy into their own side for their team to secure the KO. Greg is going to pull out the side hook here, buddy. I'm so surprised at this, trying to cause more crowd control and more disruption, trying to see if they can get some good picks. And to be honest, EJ, it was very hard for them to catch in that previous game.
Hey, to be honest, I only like Psyduck really because I can call his Unite move, Sai-Ai-Ai. And we're gonna see a lot of that happening very soon here. But in response to that, we are gonna see the other Blur fellow here onto the side with just Slowbro. Two Blur fellas, one is gonna come on top here, and it's gonna be a very big moment to see which one is going to come out with the stronger surf, with the stronger Unite move. Is it gonna be Slow Beam? Is it gonna be Sai-Ai-Ai? That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, Top is going to stick with that slow roll. Hiyori's going to lock in the Zero Aura this time. What's Caesar going to go with? I'm expecting an all-rounder to try and see if they can get the carry on their back. It is going to be the Garchomp. What an interesting rainbow comp Victory Road has pulled out here, Nitera.
And again, we are seeing the first rainbow here. Don't, you know, just go with the flow. Pick a speedster here. No, come on. Don't break the chain, Verbs. Don't take. Okay, I see how it is.
Bro, that's Petal Dance. Like, looking at that right now, that's got to be Petal Dance, right?
I don't know, because I was talking to Shivam yesterday. Again, a lot of my conversation were yesterday, but trust me, it wasn't, you know, to conspire anything. But I was asking him, hey, what is the build for Venusaur? Because someone ran exactly a rapid fire scarf in the build. I was trying to dig it out. I tried it with Muscle Band, Focus Band, and like that was amazing, right? And I think that is so strong. But looking at this, I think you could say that it's just a very early game build to dish damage and also have a little bit more to work with the Buddy Barrier. Because of that, yeah, could be Petal Dance. Wouldn't count out Solar Beam though, because right now they do have two frontliners in Slowbro and they have a Buster Wall, so we might see something interesting.
I hope Petal Dance. I think Petal Dance is the smart play here. I think looking at the comp that they've got
Fair
on
enough.
the side, you know, you're going to have that Zero Aura going in for the melee. You're going to have the Garchomp going in for the melee. And trust me, bro, late game Venusaur, it takes everything you've got to take that thing down, especially if it's got a Focus Band and especially if Fast is there healing on the Elder Goss as well, mate.
You know, I'm gonna stand on my ground here. No. Could be Solar Beam, could be Massive. You know, level 13, it's 4 seconds cooldown extra. Could be the play. I'm gonna hold to that.
With the full heal on the Pokemon, absolutely.
Absolutely. You know, what if he gets stunned? He needs to press full heal.
Get that range in. Here we go. It's game 2 between the Victory Road and Verbs Esports. Verbs Esports already defeating Goliath in that previous game. Can they do it again?
Hey, one shot with the Slingshot is not enough to take it down. David and Goliath, the story, he needed 2 shots, right? I think. Don't quote me on that, just go with it. But right now, they need that miracle bullet, a second one. A silver bullet to clinch this one out here. And it's starting to look like Toppy going very strong and allowing his team to play a lot more aggressively. Psyduck here, not really too sure what he's doing with Baby Garchomp. And he's just going to be a little bit rough for them as they have to fight this giant mosquito.
Just gotta wait for Buster to hit level 5 to really bring the pain in this top lane. You've got to try and keep away as much as you can from Gible because it does a decent amount of damage, buddy, as they do get low, but it's gonna be the Venusaur, rather the Ivysaur, coming into the lane, providing that assistance.
And right away, we're gonna see how this is gonna play a huge part here. The chase is on when Zero Aura gets the damage in here. Unfortunately, Toppy a little bit tankier than you think, and there it is. We're gonna see him try to make some plays here, but Toppy, again, no pickups for him, no evolution for him. But this Ivysaur going so aggressive with his team here, with Buzzwole assisting out here. We get the first pick out to Gibble, and Snorlax trying to find its mark into this game player, and that is going to be if he can stop the tree push.
Yeah, so Verbs Esports continuing with their aggressive early game, but Victory Road having more success with it than they previously had, at least 20 seconds before the Regidrago comes in, and that was the moment we saw Verbs Esports begin to take control of that first game.
And already we're seeing it happen once again. Verbs Esports has a lot more control of the game. I mean, what are you gonna do with this Gibble, right? You gotta get it to a Gabite if it's gonna start hitting a lot harder here. And it looks like all is being done here is that, you know, Gibble is now their little plaything, right? Volleyball with him, we see fly around the map. And Regidrago is gonna be the same very soon if Verbs Esports get to it first.
Here we go, Discharge ready to go, pulls in fast, doesn't have enough damage just yet to find that KO, but it is Petal Dance on Silex as they go for the rip onto the Regidrago here. It's going to be completely uncontested by Victory Road and just gives it to Verbs Esports as they try to make an approach onto Silex. Here comes the boosted, but the Giga Drain was there early, but they did pop the Focus Band, Nitera.
The question is, can they actually make the score here? One of Regidrago's traits is that he actually gives you the ability to score fast. And so, this 30 point is going to be massive if somehow they can push together with Buster Wall. Going into that though, this Gaba is looking a little bit scared. Wants to wait for his team here as the Psyduck comes in and try to make some headways. Pushing it forward here, we are seeing the damage go onto Buster Wall. Not looking too good for him, but with a little bit of help, he might be able to get back into another fight.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to try and limit, again, this Ghatlue as much as you can. Right now, Caesar's just grabbing every piece of farm they can in that top lane, and they've allowed it to happen so far. Verbs Esports trying to find the KO here onto the side of Zero Aura. A massive heavy slam comes through to stop that from happening. Serve from Toppy trying to pick up the Mew, but coaching will get them out of that sticky situation.
And right now, as we move into the Regirock fight here, they've kind of positioned themselves really well here. 3 players to 3. They do have the damage. They do have a very strong tank for the side of Victory Road here. But on the other side, I'm not too sure if it's enough for them to really go in with what they have. But as I say that, heroes have come. The Venusaur coming in, Pedal Dance rocking it out here, trying to find its mark. Zero Aura returning a favor, trying to see if he can find its mark. Not enough to work with here, but very close to death. Plasma Bull here. We're gonna see if we can get it in. The first coming in. Regirock picked up for Victory Road here. They do have Plasma Gale coming in very soon. It's just a matter of the investment. There it is. Coming in, hits the 2, and they do not get the pickup here. That is such a shame. Going in, discharge, trying to find another one, but Venusaur finishing it off. And unfortunately for us, Victory Road is going down, losing so much EXP and giving it back to Burbs.
What did I say about Venusaur, bro? What did I say? I mean, it's just level 9 in that bottom fight, buddy. The Plasma Gale was used. They were throwing so much damage onto them. Not only did they have the healing from Fast, but the Giga Drain was absolutely cooking for them. And they have that Verdant Anger to drop as well. And you just cannot take down that Pokemon.
Nah, man, they misclicked. Verbs Esports misclicked these Pedal Dance with Solar Beam, you know? Like, it should have been Solar Beam, but I guess that's how they gotta play now. It's fine. They still got it in the back here. Verbs Esports looking very strong with a 235 points to 39.
Oh, this is great for Verbs Esports, but they've got to keep up that momentum. Got to watch out, though. Hiyori manages to get a good pick onto Fast, but they just don't have the damage here to find the KO, and Slow Beam is going to go on over to them. They find the highest level for their pick, whilst Buster trying to see if they can rain down the fists in the central area, but not able to find Snorlax just yet.
Not just yet, indeed, as they do continue to find any headways into this race here. I guess now Verbs Esports just kind of need to sit pretty. Not a lot of yellow dots on the map here. I do see a lot of yellow orbs, and that's coming from below the Raichu, so you don't really want to pick that up.
Now, as we hit the 4-minute 40 mark, we do have level 10 on Garchomp. They do have Livid Outrage ready to go in this next team fight. Plasma Gale is back as well, so what is going to be used from those resources to try and take control of this game as we dash on in here using the Volt Switch. Doesn't get a pick onto Toppy, but the block will. Trying to zone them out here. Greg trying to hit them with that Psychic as well, but Toppy still gets away as both teams trundle down this bottom lane to look for this bottom Reggie.
And Registeel is going to be the one to come up here. The damage boost is going to be massive here. They need to try and find their way in, but it looks like Gotcha coming in here. The Livid Outrage being committed here. Mew picking it up for the side for Burbs here as they continue to take an onslaught, but it's not enough. Garchomp going down for the count here. We do see a Solar Beam coming in from Mew, but not Venusaur here as he continues to make an onslaught onto the Psyduck as well as Snorlax here. But being blocked is going to be a very big problem here. Mystical Barrage and Bestley as well as they go in for another fight. Venusaur unkillable here, moving in for that. It is going to just continue its onslaught. Pulled in by the discharge here. Not the first thing I want to see. Scorpion and Bestley almost picking one fast here. And again, we go down and the dust has settled here with, again, not really a clear victor across the board.
But this Venusaur is like a classic Nintendo boss in a final game where you get the KO, you take down all the health, and then all of a sudden it goes back up to full health, and then all of a sudden it goes back up again after you take it. It is the Elden Ring boss of Thea Sky Ruins in this match.
Hey, Thea Sky Neo Runes. Remember, promo particles are still there. Gotta see them. But again, we're gonna look at the Reggie and Lecky here at the top side as they do kind of make their way out. It looks like Verbs are a little bit more prepared onto this one here. They have Venusaur at the ready, and Buster Wall is gonna see if they can pick something here. The discharge coming in, pulling in Venusaur, nicely done, but not enough to really do much here. Super Soul Slam coming in here, the damage, as we do see the Dragon pulling it back. The Mosquito is now stuck a little bit, but with the help of Eldegoss, they've got the health back up to full here, and again, just getting so much damage, dishing it back out.
Buster trying to see if they can continue to zone them out. Massive Beam's going to come through from Mew. The rip onto the Regieleki is here. A good heavy slam in with the block. He's going to zone out Buster, but they do find a good hit onto the Garchomp. Don't find the KO just yet, though, and they get the revenge, the 360 turnaround, and it is going to be a Alolan Raichu that manages to finally take down the Garchomp, but with 20 seconds before Groudon is on the field, nobody is going to go for the rip on that Lecky.
I still feel like you could, but you know what? Nice trade across the board here. We do see 2 bruises down for the count. Bustle at level 12. We have the Dragon Garchomp at 13 here. Looking mighty strong here, but I guess now it's time to see a catchphrase, Tano. It is 2 minutes.
It is, and when there's a Groudon, the game is on, chat. They have a route to be able to get the win on the side of Victory Road, but of course, Verbs Esports know the ball is in the court of the VR right now, and they need to wait to see if they can go for the approach that they're looking for. Verbs Esports just going to sit around these bushes, but they've got good poke on the side of Victory Road here, Night Terror, so they can't wait too long.
Right, and as we do take a look here, Victory Road again in the back foot, we're gonna see if Verbs can actually make their way up for another point. It's looking very rough. I don't see a way in. They're gonna try and take a pull, nice pull onto Slowbro, but I think they were looking for a Loner Raichu here. The block now trying to just hopefully to pull that in here. Garchomp really happy to see that Thunderstorm Arrow being invested here, coming in for that here. No limit outrage just yet here, but the damage coming up to 0 aura, and they're down from what? 5 players on the block here. Garchomp has run away here. We do not see Greg doing much here. He has to just pew for a seat, and unfortunately it looks like they back down for the Groudon fight as Mew, Mystical Barrage tries to run away from this. Not a good sign here that he needs to try and back away, and again the Buzzwole coming into investment here. Pushing back here, we do see the block holding them back, and I don't think there's really much you can do at the moment, but I'll wait for their team to come together.
Oh my god, Fast is absolutely putting this team on their back with these heals, buddy. The buddy barrier from Silex was next level, and now they finally do manage with the powers Nap to get them caught into this chokehold. They've managed to find Buster there. DJ getting just away from the boosty, but that's going to come through to the Garchomp, and now they put the pressure onto the Venusaur. 30 seconds left, buddy, and they found the raid boss. Verbs Esports are falling one by one, but is there enough here for Victory Road to go for the win? They're trying to take the Groudon, go for the score. Though it's such a close game. 20 seconds left. Fast here, still trying to see if they can get in to get the secure. They do take the Groudon on the side of Victory Road. 15 seconds left. They're gonna go score these points, buddy, but the Hundo Burger is gonna come back in return from that Eldegoss. Is it going to be enough?
Okay, they've got to stop here. They need to hold to one more. 50 coming in. They don't have it.
Oh!
This is it. Victory Road closing it out with a short gap, and that margin of error. They had a small margin of error there. If they had messed that up, that was game. Verbs would have moved on here. Victory Road looking. Wait! The last 100 didn't go in!
Bro, can you believe what we are witnessing here, Night Terror? An absolutely devastation from Verbs Esports as they managed to take the 2-0 victory over Victory Road. Absolutely insane scenes. And at the end of this, it's going to be Verbs Esports that takes the victory.
I would like to see the battle data here. I want to see where the scores got in, because okay, I saw a total of 400 points being dropped there. The first 2 pads, one top, one bottom. The second tier 2 pad at the bottom. 2 of them came in here. Boswell did not manage to defend that. But this last score, that margin of error, that was so painful to see. But you know what? I think what's more important is we gotta hear what, the team of Verb Esports has to say after moving this. This is their David versus Goliath match, and we do have someone to come in for an interview here.
That we do. Toppy is going to be on the mic with us. Welcome in, bro, and a huge congratulations. What a massive victory you just got there, bro.
Hi, Toppy.
Oh, we can't hear Toppy.
Don't worry, I would love to see you, love to meet you. Let's get that formality out of the way first. I think it's great that in general, Verbs Esports somehow, you know what? No, it's not somehow. They were solid across the board. They had the pointing, they had everything, Toppy. Slowly as you figure out how to get your mic in, I think it was solid.
I was impressed. Let's see if they've managed to get the mic going just yet. Maybe not.
They
maybe
pulled it back out.
Hey, do you know, the Victory Road are so unhappy with that. They've thrown a Sableye into the system to stop Toppy from being able to tell us how happy they are and how aggressive they played in that game to take an absolutely insane victory against a massive team here in the EUL.
Hey, if I was the Victory Road, I would be pretty upset too. That was not a fight I felt like, Victory Road would have lost. And somehow, even with a 9-3 scoreline here, now moving to 9-4, you gotta give it to them. It was a rough one moving into that. But that doesn't mean they're out of the count yet. They still have a very strong scoreline. 9 wins to their name. I don't think there are a lot of teams that have hit 9 wins here. I mean, I've seen the scoreline.
Yeah, this is it, buddy. I mean, you're coming in as a what, 2-6 team or something like that versus no, 9-3 against the 2-8, I think.
2-11,
mate. 2-11. Okay, perfect. That is an impressive showing from this team because nobody, I mean, even look at our predictions, bro. I mean, nobody expected Verve Esports to take that victory. It very much was David versus Goliath, and I've got to say, that is the best I have seen Verve Esports play since they have been in this league. And Buster coming in as well has been very impressive. I mean, we did see a couple of those pavement swole slams, buddy. So, you know, gotta work up on those ones. But the play between this team was the best I have witnessed so far. And you gotta give a round of applause for Fast, because if it wasn't for Fast, I really don't think they'd have been able to get that there.
Right. I do believe we're going to wait just a little bit just to get Toppy, but yeah, Toppy should be ready now. All right, I think we're gonna get it back in. Oh, well, hi Toppy, first time. Verbs did fantastic there. How are we feeling? You know, give us some words of you know emotions coming from you after that win.
Pretty good. We played against Ultimate last week, and we saw some positives in our game, even though we lost 2-0. We VOD reviewed our game, and we thought of a plan to basically give it to Victory Road because we want a better seeding going through to group stages than the current seeding that we would be in if we didn't get the result we need. So we had to really push hard to get the victory that we needed to get a better chance at our standing.
Is that where the bans with the, I mean, Suicune makes sense, with the Pormot aiming Toppy, but that kind of research that you did made you realize we kind of need to ban this Pokemon out?
It was more from, like, we believed that if Pormot got online in a jungle or top lane situation, that it would be very hard to control. And so we just wanted to ban it outright completely, so we didn't give it that chance to get online early and take us down quite easily.
Right. And Toppy, I think you are one of the most stellar defenders I've ever seen, right? You've locked in twice into Slowbro coming out. It's not a very common pick anymore, especially when you talk about like who has a better serve and, you know, telekinesis, great, still need aim. Psyduck has a similar issue. So, I mean, first of all, congrats to that. But moving on, did you expect yourself to go in 2-0? Because at the very end, I was calling it. It was like 400 points in, right? I was like, all right, it's a 1-1. They need to make it back here. How are you feeling from that? That was a very, very close match.
It was basically at the end as well, me and Silex dunked a 38 into their tier 2, knowing that if the Groudon got taken down, that would give us a bit of a lead going in, and we told Fast to go and dunk in the tier 2. And luckily enough, the jump pad, I think it was myself at the end, managed to jump onto the pad up the top to stop one of the breaks right at the end. And we had a game plan going in. We needed to win 2-0 to give ourselves a better standing in the league, and our game plan was to try and win 2-0 and give it the best possible shot at it.
And you did.
That you did, buddy. I mean, you know, thanks so much for being on the interview, buddy, and a humongous congratulations for a generational game from Verve Esports there. It's got me very excited to see how you guys do in the group stages because, you know, your stocks have just shot up from that game, buddy. So a huge shout out to you and your squad. And thanks for being on the mic with us, bro.
Thank you ever so much.
Alright, we are going to get ready for a break here, Nitero, because after that one, I need to go get myself a break. I was not expecting it to go that way, and, you know, if that's anything to go off, we've got even more hype games coming on up, chat, so don't go anywhere. Maybe grab yourself a drink and a snack. We'll be back with you very shortly.